The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Lubavitcher Rebbe, Avrohom, used to receive a tremendous amount of mail, upwards of 500 pieces of mail every day. And as it was known, the Rebbe would open up every single piece of mail himself. And many times the Rabbi would say, "Let me do it." No, I'm doing it. And it was understood that the Rebbe wanted to give people their privacy. People would write the Rebbe the most innermost problems and thoughts, and no one should see it. One time, one of the people there felt so bad for the Rebbe. He's working so hard. You know what it takes to open up 500 pieces of mail? So he went and he bought the Rebbe a mail opening machine. This was, yes, in the late 70s. He bought him a mail opening machine. And he gave it to the Rebbe. He left it in the Rebbe's study. A few days later, he gets the machine back with a note. He says, "Thank you very much, but it makes a lot of noise. To open up the envelopes, it makes a lot of noise. It's not for me." So, not to be deterred, the fellow goes, he calls up the company that makes this thing, and he says, "Do you have one that doesn't make any noise?" They said, "Yeah, we have one. Please send it to me. I'll pay whatever it is. Send it to me. I want that one." So they sent it to him, and he went and he gave it to the Rebbe. Now the Rebbe got a mail opening machine that didn't make any noise. A few days later, he gets it back, and the Rebbe explains to him as follows. He says, when you take a letter and you write a letter, put it in the envelope, now you have to seal the envelope. There's glue on the top. You can lick it shut. You can go and take some other water and put it on there. You could use it with a sponge, and that's how you can seal it. The letters that the people send me, they don't seal it with their saliva. They don't seal it with a sponge. They don't seal it with glue, and they don't put it on tape. The letters people send me are sealed with their tears. They are crying as they write these letters. How could I go and open up a fellow Jew's letter that he sealed with tears? I'm going to open up with a machine. For me to feel their tears, I have to open up with my hands. I have to feel it itself. If you imagine 500 pieces of mail every day, and the Rebbe said, I have to feel their pain. I have to feel their tears, and that's why I have to open up the letters themselves, by myself. And this is what the Pasuk is teaching us. Hashem wants us to give others our heart, to feel for another Jew. A fellow once came to Rav Pam, and he needed money. He was in a bad situation. He needed a lot of money. So he came to Rav Pam crying, "Could you help me out?" So Rav Pam hears a person's plight, takes out his checkbook, and writes the person a nice check. The person looks at the check. He says, "Rabbi, please, I don't mean to be chutzpah, but I really need more than this." And he starts crying. And Rav Pam says, "I'm sorry, I can't do more." He says, "Rabbi, please, maybe ask your wealthy Talmidim. They can, be mishtatav and give some money." And Rav Pam says, "I'm sorry, I just asked all of them for something else. I can't go back and ask them again now." And the person was crying, but he understood what Rav Pam said, and he left. A few minutes later, another Talmud came in, and he sees Rav Pam going over his Rolodex, looking at different names over and over again, flipping through it, and he was crying. He says, "Rabbi, what's wrong?" He said, "Somebody was here and needed money, and he asked me if I can find somebody, contact some of my Talmidim, to ask them to donate as well." And I said, "I can't because I just went to them for something else. But I'm looking through the Rolodex. Maybe there's somebody I can still ask." So his Talmud says, "That's very nice. Why is the Rebbe crying?" He said, "I'm crying because that fellow was crying. And I can't help him more. And that's why I'm crying." And that itself is what the Pasuk is telling us. That itself, even though this person doesn't see Rav Pam crying, that itself makes his situation better.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org